We'll turn it over first to Sheriff John Knowles and Tom Spokesbury for an update on evacuation zones and firefighting operations.
Thank you, Commissioner Jordan. I'm going to talk about a couple of topics here today. I'm going to start off with the topic of evacuation zones. I am certain from the feedback and the communication we've gotten from our citizens who have been evacuated from the level 3 zones, and from what we're hearing from other sources, that it is probably one of the biggest pinch points and points of contention with our community. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the process that we are going through every single day in conversation with our firefighters and with law enforcement in an effort to get people back into their homes as safely and as quickly as we can. I will say up front, to manage expectations, we are not going to be downgrading these zones in any large way for many, many more days to come. I will talk to you a little bit about some of the information given to law enforcement in our fire briefing this morning, which we have every morning with our fire teams. Our fire teams right now are working on establishing fire lines around all of these fire zones. And what that means is that they have to have lines built around these areas sufficient enough that with a high degree of confidence that they can say, with the weather systems coming in and the higher fire level dangers that are coming in the next several days, that if the worst happens and we realize those high fire danger events, that if something kicks off again, that those fire lines will hold and not go into areas that haven't been affected. And as you can imagine, we have people who have been evacuated, and if we let people come back in and we don't have a high degree of certainty that those fire lines will hold in the coming days, we're putting people in danger. We are not going to do that, because then we as law enforcement have to go back in, put our men and women in danger to get people back out. I want our public to understand we are not doing this for no good reason. These areas are not safe right now. There is a high likelihood, with the low humidity and high temperatures coming in, that if an ember does get into a fuel source, of which there is still quite a bit of fuel sources in these areas, that it will likely start another fire. And as conditions begin to deteriorate over the next couple days, there is also a very high likelihood that those fires will move. We are not taking this evacuation lightly, particularly in these level 3 areas. Be patient with us. Please know that we are assessing these dangers every day, and we will get you back into your homes and let people back into these areas as soon as we can. Please be cooperative with our National Guard personnel and our law enforcement personnel at these ingress and egress points where we have personnel posted. We have many, many encounters with citizens who are angry. They're trying to push past. We really need to have this kind of behavior stop. You can get a hold of us and talk to us if there are extreme life needs inside that area, and we will do what we can when appropriate to accommodate escorting you in. But it will have to be something that is immediately life-threatening, and frankly, a lot of the requests we're getting do not meet that threshold. We're not doing it to frustrate you. We are not doing it to make you mad, but we are there to keep our community and our firefighters safe, to keep people from putting themselves in danger. And again, we are constantly evaluating these evac zones, and we'll be reducing these zones as soon as it is safe. Myself and Chief Hall, we rely on our firefighters to tell us when it is safe, and we will not take risks with our communities and our citizens' lives. To transition to another topic, and I'll let Mr. Stokesbury talk a little bit about the fire condition and what's happened in the last 24 hours. I will say that as we've been talking about, I've been specifically talking about drone usage in the area of the temporary flight restriction, which was established early in this fire on Saturday. I'm pleased to report that as of yesterday, we had 0 drones detected in the temporary flight restriction zone yesterday. We do have federally deputized FBI agents in the area from Spokane County, King County, and the Washington State Patrol doing counter-drone surveillance, and if necessary, and I hope we continue to have no drones in the area, but do have the ability to mitigate those drones if necessary. I am grateful for both King County and the Washington State Patrol for bringing over their equipment to this area to help keep our skies safe. The reason they are here is because we have had moments when our air assets for our fire suppression have been grounded because of somebody was selfishly flying a drone in those areas. So I would ask those people who might think they want to operate a drone in there, please don't do it. It's not worth it. And continue to be compliant with the temporary flight restriction zone. There are significant both state and federal charges people could be charged with for violating that. I would like to not have to exercise that law enforcement authority if possible. I think I'll turn some time over to Mr. Stokesbury to talk about the fire behavior, and one more thing I do want to cover. We've had some reports online and some questions online about missing persons. Both the Spokane Police Department and the Spokane County Sheriff's Office are continuously evaluating missing person reports that are coming in. I want to reiterate, we have no known fatalities in this instance, and we are constantly pouring through reports, contacting people, trying to reunify them, at least verbally, with their family, and that will be ongoing. And that is something that we are going to have to do for the next coming days and weeks. And again, I encourage people, if you believe you have a loved one that was in the level 3 evacuation zones or directly affected, and you haven't been able to contact them, if you have not made a missing persons report, please do so at Crime Check, 509-456-2233. That is the most effective way for us to identify people that we need to reach out and locate and contact.